I'm amazed how easily you can move such a giant shield around like it's nothing.
Really? It's not actually as heavy as it looks.
It's really reassuring to have someone like you protecting us, though.
You know, I guess I never realized it before, but looking back, I've always been the sort to put myself in harm's way to protect those around me, even before I joined the Eldermenensia Guard. So in a way, using this shield to keep you all safe feels like it's what I was meant to do.
You don't need to worry about protecting me. I don't plan on relying on you.
That's okay. It doesn't matter if you do or not. I don't protect people because they ask me to. I do it because I want to, and because I think it's the right thing to do. That goes for you too, Dohalim.
Me?
Yes. You see, you and I both want the same thing. We have the same goal. That means it's in my best interest to continue to protect and keep you safe as well. Even now.
I'm not sure how much protecting I'll need either, but I appreciate the thought. I'm sure you'll do us proud, Kisara.
Right. You can all count on me.
What was Kelzelik even after in the end?
Isn't it obvious? Clearly he wanted the throne for himself, and was gonna have his goons execute Dohalim to get it.
He had to have known he couldn't hope to defeat a lord. He should have run while he had the chance, instead of holding himself up in the palace.
Maybe he thought he couldn't run? Either way, the outcome's the same.
So he got desperate and decided to go for broke?
One might argue that he was another victim of mine, in a sense.
Huh?
There is no greater calling in life to a Renin than the crown contest, yet I refused to take part. The shock he felt at that must have been truly immense, enough to drive him to revolt, even though doing so meant defying Renin hierarchy.
I know I've said this before, but Danans and Renins wouldn't coexist here if it wasn't for your stance.
But that was no lofty idealism on my part, nor do I feel any pride at what occurred.
Spare us the pity party. You literally just joined us to uphold those ideals.
Shion!
No, she is absolutely correct. I shall speak no more of my misgivings.
Okay, off we go.
Mahag Sar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
I wonder what kind of lord we're gonna find there.
It doesn't matter. They try to get in our way. We'll take them down and that'll be that.
I'll hold on to that.
Resonate with another incantation ruin. Resonate with our arts are being interrupted.
Rising Wyvern!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara.
Finish this!
By me!
Rising
here.
Wyvern!
Lunar corruption!
Elusive deity! Tornado drive! Elusive deity! Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
Everyone hanging in there?
There's something in the water. I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Ren and eyes. Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble. I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod. You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done.
Wouldn't it be easier to simply use astral arts to catch the fish and be done with it?
That misses the whole point of going out to fish. Looks like I lost it. Yeah! All right. Dagnabbit! It got away. Yeah! Oh! I didn't think I'd catch something this big.
You tamed a real beast.
I've got something. Well, that wasn't much of a challenge.
Nice! You caught it!
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins. Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us.
Okay!
I'm always amazed what healing arts can do.
Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it. I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
Dohalim's fighting style is... what's the word I'm looking for? Subdued? No...
Do you mean elegant, perhaps?
Yeah, that's the word. For better or worse, you can definitely tell he's cut from posh Renin cloth.
And he's not just skilled with the staff either. He can also use astral arts, including healing ones. I can see how he made it to the position of a lord.
You flatter me, but my fighting techniques merely come from a style that aims to conserve energy by minimizing body movement.
Is that why you wait until the last second before you dodge attacks? To avoid unnecessary movements?
No, I do that to sharpen my senses. I find that doing so is an effective means of drawing out my innermost strength.
Oh yeah, I've noticed you look stronger and strike out with your rod more after you dodge attacks. Guess that's why.
Still, it's a risk. Don't you ever worry you'll dodge at the wrong moment?
Then, it'll be just as well.
Huh?
It's nothing. Let us continue.
Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit. Maintaining your shield? It's becoming a familiar sight.
Miguel was the one who taught me how to maintain my equipment after I first joined the Guard. Now, it's just a part of my routine.
Your brother always seems to come up whenever I talk to you.
That's because we had no other relatives, so it was just the two of us growing up. He was my idol, the one I looked up to and wanted to be like. When I became a guardsman, Lagiel wasn't too pleased to see me at first. It was Miguel who really welcomed me aboard.
Lagiel? Oh, right. She was Miguel's second in the Gold Dust Cats, wasn't she?
That's right. She's always been a very critical and down-to-earth person. In other words, the complete opposite of a dreamer like me.
You're more an idealist than some pie-in-the-sky dreamer.
Even so, that's my brother's doing. He'd never let me stop seeing a brighter world. He always did what he could to keep me smiling and happy.
You must have meant a lot to him.
He wasn't just kind, either. He always worked so hard to set an example for me and everyone else around him. He was a true big brother. So much so that when he thought I was asleep, he'd slip out of the house to go training on the outskirts of town.
You seem to know a lot about it.
That's because I only pretended to be asleep and would follow after him. You know what? I'm at a good stopping point with my shield. If you've got time, how about I tell you a couple more Miguel stories?
I I guess I'd better get comfortable.
I'll take watch tonight. It's okay. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
All right. There's nowhere to run from my art.
When he slows down, that's our chance! Rising Wyvern!
It's like hanging onto the wall!
Dragon Swarm!
Now or never.
Lightning condemned! Radiant
No
line!
further.
Here!
Rising Wyvern!
It's time.
Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Charge the leveling!
Lightning
Magic is there!
to be seized.
Dance in the wind! Sleep now! I'll be saving this one!
Can't get out of this.
Swallow Blade!
Annihilation! Mega Ray! There you go! Don't let up! Air thrust!
Take this!
Light astral!
Can't get out of this.
Lunar corruption!
Catapult. Prepare to be seized.
Supernova! Lightning! Dance in the wind!
Can't get out of this.
Air thrust!
Begin.
Light astral!
Don't
Don't get in my way!
Stalagmite.
I got it! Here!
Elusive deity. Prepare to be seized.
Mega Ray! I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar!
Here I come!
Gale Force!
Elusive deity.
Do it!
Impressive, Dolan.
Can't
Float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Or so they say.
People say that?
rotating pile driver.
By the power of this world!
Elusive deity.
Dragon Force!
You require a
Rising Wyvern!
Elusive can't get out of this.
Finish it!
Kisara, all yours, Kisara.
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Dan in history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course. That treasure. What a sweet-sounding ring. It has.
You really think so?
Vis-
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman. And this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and pummeling to me.
Forgive me. This is my fault. Our arts are being interrupted.
Not on my watch. I'll bring you. This one's mine.
I'll smash you!
Magic is I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Behold, the Earth pulse. Tectonic fission.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Catapult. Prepare to be seen.
Radiant storm. All right.
Catapult. And in your death. Tornado drive. Catapult. Blow away.
I'm all stuffed up. Astral energy. Gemini Alpha.
An astral art?
That's my cue.
Shut him down!
I thought you were going to wreck the place.
I'm not nearly finished yet.
Then I'll provide assistance however I can.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Let's get things more pumped.
This one's got your name on it.
Action to action. A merry distraction.
There's still more to go.
Demon Fang! Rising Wyvern!
Shattering up pieces! Attack us!
Take this!
Elusive deity. Kisara. All yours, Kisara.
I felt better, that's for sure. Bad feeling about this.
In a bind?
Alright,
Flying freak! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of that?
no sooner said than done. Magic is there!
Rising Wyvern! Catapult! Stardust! Mirage!
Elusive deity.
Burn in hell!
Glacial spear, pierce evil.
Sonic thrust! Finish it!
Shield.
This one's got your name on it.
Action to action. A merry distraction.
Rising Wyvern!
There's still more to go.
Mirage! Dragon
Now,
Swarm!
one more.
Kisara. All yours, Kisara.
Dance in the wind.
Lightning thrust! Rising Falcon!
Burning
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
It's so... hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable? I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Where are you going?
No further.
Leave the charges to me!
We got flyers!
I've got you! Marksman!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Got you! Magna Ray!
Burn in hell!
Seismic Rupture.
Field!
I'll blind you with a
Now!
shot.
You're mine!
The enemy wields arms too.
We'll soon see about that!
Do it! Ringwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant finishing! You don't mess around!
Certainly not.
Let's go!
I'll blind you with a shot.
No escape!
Seismic Rupture. I'll blind you with a shot.
Do it!
Rising Rupture!
Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
I'll blind you with a...
Freeze limb! I need to be stronger.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Seismic rupture!
What? Where are you going?
I'll grind you into dust! Anything in armor is all mine!
Airborne beast. My
Seismic rupture!
Not in your dreams!
I can carve through anything!
Ringworld.
Frozen?
Hammer.
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Do it. This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes. A merry distraction.
There's still more to go.
Sword Lane Alpha!
Hear my call.
Leave the enemy's arcs to me!
Milk place here!
Do it.
Alpha!
In an instant!
Impact block!
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back.
Come and face me!
Seismic rupture! I'll grind you without dust! Elusive deity! Tornado drive!
Alright!
Where are you going?
Burn in hell!
Now or never. Adversity is said to be the best motivation. Forgive me. This is my fault.
I'll grind you into dust!
I'll bring you back from down to this.
Further.
Resuscitation. Here's a healing. Here goes. First aid.
Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Raging cascade! Recovery attack!
You won't get away with that.
Mega ray! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Dance in the wind!
Hear my call.
Elusive deity!
Flood!
It's time to finish this. Die. Consuming wildfire. I'll bring you back from
Tempest whirl!
Anything in armor is all mine! I can carve through armor!
Not
far
done
enough.
yet! Double demon blade!
Prepare to be
Do it.
Action.
In an instant! Impact block!
So I still had room to grow.
I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
I'll hold on to that.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Melody! Take this!
Here I go! I'm all stuck up for annihilation!
I'll grind you! Seismic rupture! I'll grind you into dust!
Where are you going?
Razor cyclone!
Burn in hell!
Water. Hear my call.
No further!
Flood!
Appears the end is nigh.
Seismic rupture! Behold! The Earth pulse! Tectonic vision!
Here's a healing art!
I'll grind you into
Not
dust!
in your dreams!
Your helping me has become a pattern.
It's
for the good of all of us.
Is it now?
Anything in armor is all mine.
Let me help.
I'll blind you with a shot! Now I can let loose!
Leave the torches to me.
I'll blind you with a...
I've used a bit too much healing.
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So, Aksar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain...
Retreat if you know what's good for you!
I can't hold on much longer.
You're mine!
Cast away.
I'll blind you with a shot!
Lightning ball.
Carve through armor!
Hey, when is I?
Where are you going?
Field.
In a bind?
Now.
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
Here's a healing art.
Did you just heal me?
Yes, I made you, remember?
Outfit! In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed block.
Rising Rider!
I never miss.
Finish it! Ring left! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis.
What's this place here? Some kind of old house?
I don't know about that. If I had to guess, yes, it probably served as some kind of shrine.
So still a house, in a sense. Just for a god.
This will be a delicious piece of cake.
Blind you with a shot!
Photon lightning to death.
I'll blind you with a shot! I'll blind you with a shot! Seismic Rupture! You're mine! Take this! I'll blind you! Can't get out of this! Rising Phoenix! What? I'll take you all off!
Position, precision, time. All a perfect 10.
That's it? Nothing else to add?
You take meticulous care of your fire.
This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes. A merry distraction.
There's still more to go. Freeze laser.
Seismic Rupture! Pierce through! Finish it! In an instant! Impact block! A comfortable win. Gotta break through! Tempest! Rising Wyvern! The Tempest engulfs you! Fly! Sonic Ignite! Dance on the wind!
Freeze Lancer. Here's a healing art.
You're mine! Demon Flash! Flash!
Get out
Demon
of
Flash!
there.
The Tempest engulfs you! Crush!
Water. Here's my call.
Armor won't save you! Rising Wyvern!
Laser Cutting. Raging Storm.
Dance on the wind! No further!
Do it.
Shield!
This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes. A merry distraction.
There's still
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Crescent Flash! Finish it! Law! Hey! Ha! Blow them away!
a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Out of our way!
I shall ensure you survive this.
Here goes!
Big attack! You picked the wrong fight!
Here's a healing art!
Seismic rupture!
Thank you.
Confiscated!
Demon
Seismic rupture! Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! A merry destruction!
There's
I've
still
used
more to
too
go!
much.
In here!
Ready as will! Armor won't save you!
Up and at 'em! Let's go!
Rising Wyvern! Here I eat dirt!
Right now!
Out it!
In an instant!
Impact block! Can't get out of this! Nothing gets by me! I'll blind you with a shot!
Water! Hear my call! Blood! Glacial
Seismic
fire! Here's
rupture!
evil! Dance in the
Blind
wind!
you with a shot!
Rising Wyvern!
Seismic rupture! I'll blind you into dust!
I can feel my precision improving.
Forgive me. This is my fault.
Here's a healing on here. This one's mine.
Seismic rupture! I'll blind you with a
Now,
shot!
very well. Astral energy. Full throttle. Go! Lunar corruption.
Seismic rupture!
By the
I'll blind you with a
Our
shot!
expert coming through. Gemini Aqua.
Seismic
I never miss.
In a bind?
Arcade one. Not in your dreams.
Here,
let me help.
save you!
Do it! I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life!
Here's a healing art. I can't heal you forever.
Now see that you don't get in trouble again. So that's how a lord fights.
I don't perform as well when
Art
I'm
shield.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear you say
Shield!
that.
This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes!
I feel stronger. I mean, a bit.
Good. We're counting on you, Rinwell.
On me? Well, I'll do my best.
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along, but it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag Sar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me? Why? are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you?
In here!
Take this!
I'll be saving you!
Try this! Take this! Sword Rain Outlaw!
This is some
Who the
punishment.
hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal!
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord? Celestial! Where are you going?
Double Bang!
Here's a hero in the wind!
Can't end here!
I didn't make it in time.
Here!
Save you!
Rising Wyvern! You're mine!
Tornado no further.
Rising Wyvern!
Thank you.
I'll bring you
Take
back
that.
from death's abyss! Lightning
Lightning
orb!
thrust! Rising Falcon!
Here's a
No
healing
rest for the
orb!
wicked.
Here, let me help!
On your knees.
Now I can let loose!
Raging storm! Strong light!
On your
Lightning
knees.
fields!
Lightning
Nothing gets by me! Denied!
Here's a healing orb!
Be still!
First aid! Here's sword!
You'll pay for that!
Sidewalk!
No further.
Thunder field!
Do it! Start us!
Raging
This one's
cascade!
mine!
Show me your strength.
Wide open!
It won't escape me.
Airdrop!
I'll smash you!
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alfin,
Shion!
thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought you were...
I'm fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides, Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine. Really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Danon astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Nias, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest.